Alrighty, y'all, get ready with me for Josiah's appointment. Yes, I'm wearing shorts. The offices don't have a dress code where moms can't wear shorts or a shirt like this because, you know, I feel like no matter what I do or dress in, there's just always someone saying this or saying something about my outfits. Crazy. Alrighty, y'all, but I really do want to talk about Josiah's appointment and what's going to happen today. So I'm 100% sure we're not doing the sleep study today at all. So the way it works was that Neuro sent us over to Pomo. Pomo is the one that's supposed to see him. And from there, I guess, refer us out to one of the children's hospital in the area. And then from there, you know, we get it done, and we get an appointment scheduled, and they hook him up and do all that stuff that they need to do. I did want to state that because he's not getting this. Just wanted to be very specific on what's going on so there's no confusions or, you know, there's nothing else going on. And then today he also has an appointment with GI, and GI does have to see him because he's the one that, you know, weighs him, makes sure that he is right where he needs to be and he's not under where he needs to be or above. Because I don't know if I told you guys this before, but if Josiah gains a certain amount of weight, it could also mess with his breathing since that that airway is so floppy. So getting him like overweight also isn't good. This is how I'm gonna go ahead and do my hair today. It's super hot, so I have it tied up and my bangs down. So I'm gonna be really honest with you guys. A lot of you guys always ask me, will Josiah be able to eat like food from the house but like blended and given to him through his tube? No. His GI doctor has never told us we could try that, do that. He actually wants him on the formula. The issue is that Josiah is highly allergic to dairy. And he gets all of his nutrients and gains weight as he should on the specialized formula. Now today he might say something different. He might not. I always bring it up to him and he says no. He's fine where he's at. He's getting all his vitamins, everything from this formula. And quite frankly, if he's doing okay, then we don't want to mess with that. Another thing is he'll always get fed by the small intestine because the issue with Josiah is he doesn't feel much hunger. So that's part of his syndrome. I don't know if you guys are aware, but one thing that I noticed when Josiah was born was that the first 3 days he fed normally. And when we got to the hospital and I brought it up to the nurses and I literally counted the hours, Josiah refused the bottle. And they always said it was because of his breathing, you know, the floppy airway. And they put an NG down the nose. And then after that, he would get extremely sick. So one day for surgery, they kept him completely off. And Josiah went hours and hours on end as a newborn without feeling hunger and crying for a bottle. So I got up on my 10 toes and I said, hey, this is not normal. You could have told me it was if it was my first child and he was having all these other complications. I could have believed you, but this isn't my first rodeo. I know there's something wrong with my baby. And then after all the testing and everything, and he was already on the GJ tube and he was already getting fed by the small intestine because we noticed he just was not tolerating feeds by the G, which the G, it goes straight to the stomach. Mind you, they were doing bolus feeds, and bolus feeds is like a child having a bottle. Like when I give a bottle to a twins and they just finish that in like 5-10 minutes. Yeah, that's a bolus feed when you're getting fed through a machine. And then after that, we realized that his syndrome is associated with this problem. So every time we have tried to feed Josiah through the G, it never goes right. We've done trials in the past, multiple trials. He ends up getting sick, throwing up. He ends up losing weight because then he can't keep anything down. So he's always being fed by the J because that's where he, you know, gains weight, gets all his calories, all that. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. I don't know if a lot of you guys did know that. But yes, that's something about siah if you didn't know that I'm telling you guys. So GI appointments are very, very, very important. Not just because he gives us the meds, but because of everything else that goes on in the room.